Well, first of all, what month is this? Okay. And what are we going to be celebrating on Thursday? Thanksgiving. And of course, this month, our government has decreed it as Native American Heritage Month. So, with all these different connections, we have my very, very dear friends from Indian Canyon here. First of all, how many people here, stand up if you've been to Indian Canyon with us? Wow. Thank you. Every time I go to Indian Canyon, which is an amazing place, it's this beautiful, beautiful oasis where you've got land, monocultures of vineyards around it, but you get onto the land itself, you can feel how sacred it is and how special it is. And it was a refuge for a lot of indigenous people to get away from the mission for a long time. And Anne-Marie always asks me, and she goes, how long have we been going there? Well, I actually found out. I looked through old yearbooks, and we go back to 1992. So we have been going there a long time. Mr. Raymond asked me, he said, well, why did you start going there? And I'll tell you the truth, what happened was that I'm from England, and coming out west, I felt like, oh great, it'll be full of Native Americans. I lived up in Crescent City for a year, and we saw quite a few, Ruch tribe and Klamath. But then, when I got to Monterey, I thought, where are they all? And so I started asking around, and through some artistic friends, Jennifer Colby and Rose Buffalo, they said, well, you should get in touch with Anne-Marie. And so back in 1992, I got in touch with Anne-Marie, and she welcomed the first York group to her land. Some of the things that we do when we get there, the first thing we do is we bring gifts. But because we're not going to their land now, I don't have those two gifts. But one of them is watermelon and another is salmon. But you also, whatever you meet, you always give tobacco. Which is a sacred herb of the Americas. We also we hear stories, and we hear about the history and the perspective of the indigenous people. And we've been through many adventures down there. One of the most famous ones, I just can't resist this because it's so interesting. Oh dear. This is one where Anne-Marie was driving off to the local school nearby, which has how many students? About 12 or something. 52
K through 8th.
Oh, I was
eighth graders for my graduating year.
Okay. Anyway, and as she was going out, a deer jumped across in front of the car, and the car didn't hit it, but it jumped out of the way. And it hit a fence, and it broke its neck on that fence. And then, of course, Anne-Marie turned round and said, "Oh, you know, we've got to put it out of its misery." Do you have a gun? So anyway, and I said, "Of course, I'm a school teacher." And so anyway, we rustled up a gun from neighbouring people, and this is the kind of thing is. They all turned around and said, "Well, you need to shoot the deer." I said, "Why me?" And they said, but they said, "Well, you have to do it." And there was this little 8th grade girl who goes, "I will." So anyway, so finally, we said thanks, which is where American grace comes from, to the animal for giving its life. We gave it water. and then we shot the deer. So anyway,
It was good too.
It was good.
It was really good.
that's right. And the kids never believed me on this. They all turned around after, a week later, I was sitting there eating stew. And they all said, "What's in the stew?" I said, "Well, it's the deer." And they all went, "No way, you're making that up." And it was the truth. It was, but over time, our trips changed. And I think this is a very York experience, very unique. And what started to happen is that when they went to the sweat lodge, at first they would make a pledge to the earth. They have tobacco, they give it to the earth. And then they would make an environmental pledge. That's one of the things I've learned from indigenous people. But when you're asking for something, it's not a car, it's not a job, it's not money, it's not about yourself, it's about the greater good and the community. And but then, the 8th grade, it changed into a kind of ritual, which it's now become. And they would pass the talking stick, and they would be inside a sweat lodge, which didn't have any heat, and only one of them was allowed to speak, and they would pass the stick around. And they would make peace with anyone that they hadn't had agreements with or not even got to know. They would share things that they're grateful for. And we found that this has become this big bonding experience for the class that becomes the mainstay of the 9th grade coming in. And I've heard about 3 valedictorians in my time when they've stood up have said that that was the most memorable experience at York. So anyway, another thing is, just to share, because I'll get off here because I'm not the centre, but another thing is, about 2 years ago, I had the great honour of being invited to a bear dance. And this is one of the most moving experiences of my life. And what I saw from an English European perspective, who's lived in America, was the strength and love of that community, which I've never seen a community so strong as what I saw. And it actually moves me to tears to see that kind of richness. So thank you. And thank you for being here. Okay, so.
And I'm watching slowly the healing taking place. And for me, that's a reason for living. Acknowledge the